Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. We're going to be talking about Ozzy Osbourne. He passed away today, and honestly, it seems like it's come to a shock to a lot of people, despite the fact that Ozzy was really ill. He's been sick for some time. He did have his last performance not too long ago. He gave an performance where he sat on his throne and he was able to perform a couple of songs. His whole family was there, his daughter, his wife, his son. They were all there backstage to witness his last performance, but we're going to go over everything concerning Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to watch a little clip of his last performance. Lulu says, "We knew he was dying, but it's still a shock," right? I mean, I've even seen some comments from people saying, like, even though he was sick, really did not expect this, like, thought this man would live forever just because, I mean, he's went through a lot, rock and roll days, sex, drugs, and alcohol. And he's really gone through a lot, right? So TMZ, I think they were the first to break the news. So we're going to go over what TMZ has to say really quickly. The Ashley also has an article up, and then I have a couple of clips that we're going to watch together. I'm going to try to pause this. I'm probably going to get copyrighted for this. Let me get it back to where we can see him, and then we'll go over just a few articles. I already see there's like these rumors of like a suicide pact between him and Sharon. Has anybody heard anything about that? I've n I've never heard that, but yeah, apparently there was, like, rumors that him and Sharon had a suicide pact, that if one passed, I guess the other one would take themselves out. I don't know, but, their daughter, Kelly, has come forward to say that is not true. There's no such pact, and everybody is just devastated over his passing. So we're gonna jump over to TMZ, and we're gonna read the article that they put out because, like I said, I think they were the first to break the news of his passing. Yeah, Amy, I didn't see any pictures of Amy there. Elizabeth, I did not see any pictures of Amy there. Jamie, I don't know. I can ask Kara if she is. I'm really not sure. So TMZ broke this story a few hours ago. Ozzy Osbourne dead at 76. Amy does not like the limelight and really stays like behind the scenes. Legendary rock singer Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, TMZ has learned. In a statement to TMZ, the Osbourne family says that Ozzy died Tuesday surrounded by love. The cause of death is unclear, but at this point, I mean, he had Parkinson's. He had like a spinal issue, from my understanding, and honestly, just old age. He was 76, so he was knocking on 80 years old. And this man lived a life. This man lived a life of I mean, rock and roll, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He lived the life. The Osbournes say it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. Our family continues, Ozzy's family continues. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family's privacy at this time. And here's just a few. I hate how they put these big ads at the bottom of this picture. Like, come on, can we get rid of these big ads to take up half the photo? It's Ozzy and Elton, Ozzy and Metallica, and then Ozzy at his last performance. The statement was signed by Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Lewis. Would that be Kelly's son? I'm not sure. Ozzy, what I used to keep up with them back when they were on the reality TV show, The Osbournes. I actually used to watch their show all the time. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. It says Ozzy is most famous for heading up the group of Black Sabbath, founding the iconic rock band in Birmingham, England in 1968 alongside Tony, Geezer, and Bill. His death comes just weeks after Ozzy performed one last time with Black Sabbath. Wow, he looks so different back then. Kind of looks a little bit like Kelly. I knew Ozzy had a daughter. I didn't know that he had a son. Okay. Ozzy has two kids with his first wife. The band received numerous accolades over the years, including 2 Grammy Awards and a 2006 induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Among their most famous songs, War Pigs, Iron Man, Paranoid, Children of the Grave, and Sweet Leaf. Crazy Train is not one of them. I really figured Crazy Train would be a big one. So, despite their rise to fame, Ozzy was booted from the group in '79 because of his addictions, an issue he struggled with consistently over the next few decades. Here is, let me back this out a little bit so we can see them. That ad is just taking up so much of the picture. Thank you, ads. Okay, so here is Sharon and Ozzy. I remember when Sharon was bigger and she's just so tiny now. He then embarked on an incredibly successful solo career during which he released 13 studio albums, the first 8 of which all went platinum in the United States. He also won 5 Grammy Awards as a solo artist while penning hit tracks like Crazy Train. Okay, well that makes sense. Crazy Train was on his solo album and not with Black Sabbath. No More Tears. During this time, Sharon Osbourne took over as his manager. Now, I did when I was doing some research on this earlier because, like I said, very surface level. Am I familiar with Ozzy? A little bit of his music, watching the show. I knew he had a daughter named Amy that didn't like the limelight, was not aware of his son, knew he was married before. But as I was digging into this to find out more about who he was, I did watch a video saying that Sharon Osbourne's dad was his manager originally, and that's how he met Sharon. And then Sharon took over as his manager. Ozzy met Sharon in 1970 through her father, who worked for Black Sabbath at the time. Almost a decade later, in 1979, Sharon helped Ozzy fight against his addiction after being kicked out of Black Sabbath. She also encouraged him to begin his aforementioned solo career. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. And the two married in 1982. He's the eyeliner, even his last performance, he had the eyeliner on thick and heavy. I actually put black eyeliner on today in honor of him. I normally don't do black eyeliner, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do black eyeliner today. Ozzy also emerged as a reality TV star in the early 2000s, starring on the show The Osbournes with his family, all besides his other 2 kids. The show ran for 52 episodes, 4 seasons. I'm shocked that it was only for 4 seasons, to be quite honest, because it seemed like it was very there was more, and it seemed like it was like a really big hit. Like I said, I remember watching it and just being like kind of enamored by watching, these people, Ozzy Osbourne, his family, his kids. So I'm actually shocked that it was only 4 seasons. The couple's children, Amy, Kelly, and Jack, have gone on to carve out careers as TV and internet personalities as well, regularly appearing in reality shows starring their parents. There they are. This must have been during the height of C-19 because they got their mask on. So maybe, maybe not. Ozzy is survived by Sharon, his children, and numerous grandchildren. He was 76 years old. So what's funny is my dad listened to all kind of music. My mom was more like a country, but my dad listened to all kind of music, and he listened to Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. But I always remember kind of being like a little scared of them because, you know, all the black, like during the performances, he would flip people out, he bit a bat's head off. So as I was growing up, I was kind of like scared of them. And I remember when I was like 14, 15, my boyfriend was gonna go to it may have been I don't know. I feel like I was 14, 15. My boyfriend was gonna go to a concert for I don't know if it's Black Sabbath or Ozzy. I feel like it was Ozzy after he was no longer with Black Sabbath. And I remember telling him, like, oh, I think they're devil worshippers. Like, are you sure? Like, I remember being so scared because of, the performance and everything. I remember being like, are you sure you want to go see them? I don't think, you know. Anyways, I just thought that was kind of funny that young me was kind of scared due to the performance on stage. Here he is on stage right there. I'm a mom now since I've heard wild stories about his rock and roll career. He was the Prince of Darkness. Yeah. Carly says because he was the Prince of Darkness and it was all an act. Well, you know what's funny is when I started watching their show, the Osbournes, they talked about it. They talked about, they had crosses all over their house and they talked about their beliefs and everything. And yeah, I always thought they were too at first. And then when I started watching them on their reality TV show, I got more of an understanding of like this is an act, him out there on stage, that is an act. It's not who he is in his home life. His home life, he was Sharon's husband and the kid's dad, and later on in life, a grandpa. Froggy, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys welcome Froggy as a new member to the LB channel. So here's just a few clips of just throughout the years. Yeah. Yeah, regular dad. I mean, he was honestly, he was pretty funny. When you watch them on the reality show, he was actually pretty funny, which I thought that was really cool to have this dad who is, such a big name, this legend, but then to see him with his family, trying on funny outfits for his kids just to make them laugh. I thought that was really just it really showed the true side of him, like the down the earth side of him, the father in him. As I was going through everything today, figuring out more about who he was, um, he had been married before and he cheated on his wife really bad. He ended up divorcing her. He was already talking to Sharon by the time the divorce was final. Him and Sharon married not soon after that. But he also cheated on Sharon really bad as well. He also cheated on her a good bit. And then during his drunken addiction moments, he had blacked out and ended up in jail due to DV against Sharon. And after coming out of that, obviously made the decision he needed to get help because he didn't want to wake up one day and had hurt someone. So he really went through it. I mean, with alcohol, drugs, cheating, all of it. But yeah, Sharon even did an interview. I watched a clip of the interview today where she talked about it, where she talked about, what happened between them and how at one point she knew that he had cheated with up to 6 women. But Sharon, I mean, she stood by her man and I mean, I'm sure they have problems. I'm sure she probably wasn't just like, okay, another one, whatever, not a big deal. I'm sure it caused problems. I'm sure it was hard for her. But I feel like Sharon, and I feel like I've heard her talk about this, like she kind of understood that life that he lived on the road, how tempting it can be, and that obviously Ozzy with his addictions, she knew that it was going to be hard. She knew that I actually didn't know that he was married before Sharon. Did he cheat on his first wife with Sharon? Now, I never come across anything saying that he cheated on his first wife with Sharon. Not to say that he didn't. I never came across anything that said that he did today while I was digging through everything. But I did watch an interview where he admitted to cheating on his first wife, saying that that his first wife did not deserve it, that she was a great wife, and that he was just a terrible husband. But by the time him and his first wife got a divorce, he was in fact talking to Sharon already, and they got married soon after that. So, I mean, one could kind of speculate. Tiffany says yes. I'm not. So Tiffany may know more than I do, but I'm not sure. Um, the Ashley Realities Roundup has an article too. We'll go over it. Ozzy Osbourne, known as the Prince of Darkness to music lovers, but also the dad to millions of millennial reality TV viewers who grew up watching the singer's MTV show, The Osbournes, has died at the age of 76. The Osbourne family announced the sad news on Tuesday, telling The Sun that Ozzy died with his family by his side. And this gives a statement again. I'm not going to give the statement again because we've already read it once. Ozzy's death comes about 5 years after he and his wife Sharon appeared on Good Morning America in 2020 to reveal that he had stage 2 Parkinson's disease. We're going to let's pause it right there. It's a good picture to pause it on. Okay. In the years since that announcement, the family has kept the public updated on Ozzy's health. Just 2 weeks ago, Ozzy performed at Back to the Beginning in England, a concert billed as his band Black Sabbath's last concert. Footage from the concert will be turned into a full length film called Back to the Beginning Ozzy's Final Bow, which will be released next year. Oh, wow. Okay. Ozzy and Sharon, along with their two kids, Jack and Kelly, were among the earliest reality TV stars with their show, The Osbournes, premiering March 2002 with astonishing ratings. I was 15. Okay. Season one became the most viewed show in MTV's history at the time. When the show premiered, it was one of the first of its kind. As reality TV was just starting out. The Osbournes offered viewers a behind the scenes look at a famous family in a way never before seen. Viewers watched as Ozzy, the dad, not the rock star, navigated life with his teenage kids, who also have been dealing with their health crisis, public scrutiny, and more. The Osbournes ran for 4 seasons, 52 episodes, on MTV before its cancellation in 2005. Jack later revealed that Ozzy struggled to film the Osbournes. So my dad did not really like doing the Osbournes. Musicians didn't do that. Jack told Entertainment in 2019. Musicians always had this air of mystery about them, and there was this very public persona and it was very calculated. And this kind of pulled back on that. And he didn't like that. I think he was like, "Whoa, the rockstar thing. We gotta hold that up. Like I'm just kind of a dad now." I think you struggle with that. That's interesting that he understood what his character was. This rock and roll legend, like who everybody thought he was, and by being on this reality TV show, how it would kind of expose him for maybe not being exactly who everyone thought that he was. Hello, there he is biting a head off of a bat. Um, ugh, that's so wild. Okay, it says Elizabeth says it appears that there's three children born to Ozzy and Thelma: Jessica, Elliot, and okay, I did not know that. Wait, who's Amy then? No, there's an Amy. Wait, Amy is. I think Amy is actually. I should have checked all this out before I even did this. Sorry, you guys. I thought I did plenty of research, but it turns out I did not. Actually, where's my other phone with Chat GPT? Because it should probably know. Amy is his daughter with Sharon. I thought about that after I said it. Okay, so Jessica, born 1972, mom Thelma. She has stayed out of the spotlight. Uh, Elliot, Thelma, Lewis, Thelma. Okay, Lewis, 1975. Elliot, 1966. Okay, so Elliot, this is interesting. Elliot is not Ozzy's biological son. Elliot is Thelma's son from a previous relationship whom Ozzy adopted. He also lives a private life and is reportedly involved in theater. Okay. And then you have Amy, born in 1983. Mother Sharon chose to stay out of the public eye and did not appear on The Osbournes. She is a singer and an actress. Kelly, obviously, 1984. Jack, 1985. So he has 6 kids, respectfully. I mean, yeah, 6 kids. Toast at $2. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Is Janelle suing you for defamation? No, she's not. No. Um, okay, so let's continue with thank you, Toasted, for the super sticker. Ozzy himself later recounted how the fame from the show affected his family. He says, "I'm not sorry I did it, but after 3 or 4 years, I said, do you know what? We're going to lose somebody because it's getting too crazy." He told The Mirror in 2023, adding that he and his family experienced trauma because of the show that led them to go down bad paths. This is rock and roll fame, which is pretty intense. But that Osbourne level was just unbelievable, and the kids paid the price for it, Ozzy said. They all ended up doing drugs. Jack got clean and sober on the show. Kelly messed up on that show. I messed up. Sharon got cancer. After the Osbournes, though, Ozzy and other family members of his family returned to reality TV world several times. In 2020, Ozzy, Sharon, and Jack appeared on the supernatural show The Osbournes Want to Believe. From 2016 to 2018, Ozzy and Jack visited historical and iconic locations on their show, Ozzy and Jack's World Detour, which also featured appearances by Kelly and Sharon. I thought he broke his leg on a four wheeler, but maybe. Okay, Ozzy Osbourne seriously injured his neck in a major accident. I actually think that's why my boyfriend ended up not going. It was the concert that my boyfriend was supposed to go to was canceled due to his injury, I do believe. For some reason, I was thinking it was the leg, but yeah, it's his neck, and that's probably what caused the spine issue years later. I would have to imagine. Okay, so let's continue. Here's actually, oh, okay. Um, here can't play that music, but here's a clip from his last performance. And he's like I said, he's sitting in this chair, and this was just like 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna make it smaller. I know I'm gonna get a copyright probably, but this is just 2 weeks ago. Wow. He had spinal surgery, not knowing it would make it worse. I just watched an interview with Sharon about that. Man. And then someone posted like a behind the scenes, like a behind the scenes. This is him coming up on stage. He stayed in that chair the whole show. I imagine. I mean, 76 years old, you guys. 76 years old. In just a few months, he would have been, I mean, he would have been 77. And like I said, he's lived that life of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll hard on the body. So here, someone, actually, the Daily Mail posted this, and then Farrah Abraham's daughter, Sophia, reposted this on her Instagram. So that's actually where I got this part, was Farrah's daughter, Sophia. She posted that little clip right there. So yeah, you guys, 2 weeks ago, his last performance, and here's a good picture of him. Here's a really good picture of him. Why isn't it any bigger? Oh, there it is. Okay, wow, look at that. I was hearing about that right before I came live, and I saw where their daughter Kelly debunked that and said that was not true. So, yeah, I don't know. I did hear about that right before I came live, and then I heard that Kelly was saying no, that's not true. I'm not sure. That would be. I mean, why would Sharon leave her family just because? You know what I'm saying? Like they have grandchildren, and Ozzy, 76 years old. He's lived a hard life, so he's gonna pass at some time, and them having grandchildren who are literally babies, that would be so selfish for them to for her to leave just because he left. Do you not love your kids, your grandkids enough to stay for them? So, yeah. But I read that Kelly said that was not true, so this The cinema premiere of the Nine Lives of Ozzy Osbourne screening at Millennial Point on the 4th of July. Oh, wow. Who's this is Ozzy's page, and nothing has been posted there, obviously. None of them has posted to their social media. Sharon hasn't posted anything today, which why would they? I don't expect, her to be posting on social media. Obviously, if she does, maybe she decided, you know what, I need to say something to the fans, but I wouldn't blame her if she didn't today because I mean she just lost her husband. So hello. 6 hours ago. Well, she did post 6 hours ago. Maybe her manager posted that. This is what and slash sandwich. Hmm. Or was edited 6 hours ago. So it wasn't put up 6 hours ago. There he is.
Sound check, vibing out. It's fucking crazy. Dad, look what I made. I made you something. I made you something. I wanted to. Obviously, you gave me a cross, and I wanted to return the favor. Oh my good God! So I made you something. Fucking unbelievable. Sharon, have you seen this? Yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
have.
they released a statement. They did release a statement.
This Tristan made it. This is my mate Tristan, and he made it for you. Let Tristan take it out. So obviously, look, I got mine on. I never took mine off. You gave me, so I wanted to return the favor. You know what I mean? Yes, Oz. Oh yes, that's the one. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really good. Look at that. Thank you. Of course, man. Aww. Thank you, man, for everything, man. It's an honor, man. It's like the whole city is just. You got number one album. Yeah, I have, yeah. Good for you. Conquer America, like. That's it, man. That's the goal. That's the fucking plan. Got to conquer America. And then the world. That's the next goal, baby. Stop. Just keep going. Yeah, man. Don't give in. No, man, never. It's going to be fucking epic, man. Love you, Oz. Love you, man. I fucking love you, man. Honestly. That's fucking awesome. Bro, to Oz, I hope this.
Y'all. Wow. And yeah, I said the family hasn't spoken out, but they did release a statement. I read it earlier. So they did release a statement. Probably their manager, I'm sure their manager is probably who spoke to TMZ and the Sun. Um, very sad news. Very sad news. Gotta turn that off really quickly. Yes. Yeah. Even on the show, even on their reality TV show, it was pretty hard to understand him at times. So, anyways, you guys, I wanted to hop on here really quickly. I felt like, they were on reality TV for many years. Well, a couple of years, four, what did they say? Two, three, but they have 4 seasons, 52 episodes. I did watch it when I was younger, enjoyed it. It gave me like an insight into how the other side live, the celebrities live. And somebody brought this up in the chat a while ago, and I remember it as well. It was when they were like arguing with the neighbors, so they threw like watermelon or something over the fence, and they were like playing really loud music or whatever to annoy their neighbor. I do remember that. Nevi says Jamal was more of a shock to her. You know what really threw me for a loop today was Trisha Paytas, her announcing the birth of her third child and the fact that she named her child Aquaman. That's what threw me for a loop today. But you know what? Whatever. Uh, Name your kid whatever you want to name your kid. But I do feel like at some point, I'm all for like name your kid what you want to name your kid. If you want to give your child something unique, like I understand that. But at the same time, don't make it something so ridiculous that they're going to get attacked and picked on the rest of their life. And Aquaman Moses Paytas Hockman or whatever, Hockman or whatever his last name is. It's a boy. It's a boy. I mean, could you imagine if it was Aquaman and it was a girl? But the baby is a boy, and they named the baby Aquaman because Moses has like a art museum, and he's like really big into like he has like a water art museum or something. I don't know. Malibu is cute. Barbie Malibu is her daughter's name, and then Elvis is her son's name. So she has a son named Elvis, a daughter named Barbie Malibu or Malibu Barbie, and then she has Aquaman now. So it's just like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, whatever. I try not to say anything about what people name their kids because I feel like it's their decision. But I also feel like I was reading where somebody said that they knew twins, Crayon and Crayola. Crayon, it was like Kray, and then like apostrophe ON, and then Kray apostrophe OYLA or something like that. Crayon and Crayola. And I'm like, you are just, who did that? Like, that person should be spanked for that. You know what I'm saying? That's just child abuse at that point because those kids are going to get picked on for the rest of their lives. They'll probably change their names when they get older, but it's not going to change, their childhood trauma of getting picked on due to their name. And hopefully Trisha's kids don't get picked on for it. Mackenzie from Team Mom named one of her. Mackenzie is getting a ton of backlash for, what she named her twins. So much so that she's acknowledged it. Mackenzie actually acknowledged what people were saying. She made a TikTok video with someone's comment on there, like talking about the kids' names, and she was just like, and then everybody in the comment section was like, "Well, they're not wrong. You gave them horrible names." So I didn't think those names were like. It's just so different than what she's named her other kids. That is just so different from what she's named her other kids. I don't think anybody was expecting it. But the twins' name, Mackenzie's twins' name are Jakari and Jamaica. Is it Jamaica or Jamaica? Jamaica. I think it's Jamaica. So, and I think they're probably going to call him like Kari and Mika or something like that. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Janie says, I know someone who named their son Shitterbrick. Wow. That is insane. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this one out, but I will be live at 8 o'clock, 8:30 tonight over on Fatal Files. If you guys haven't heard about the Sarah Grace story, join us. If you have heard about it and you want to talk about it, we're going to be live over on Fatal Files. Sarah Grace is from Georgia, 17-year-old who was arrested not too long ago for unaliving her mom and stepdad. She was 16 when the act took place. Sean actually has been digging into this story because it's a big story in Georgia. And what's crazy is Candy, my friend and moderator, she knew about it before anybody because Ozzy is dead. He died this morning. That's why this channel is saying that. So Candy lives in Georgia she lives in the same area that all this happened. And she was like, she messaged me. She was like, girl, let me tell you what's going on here. You need to cover this. So me and Sean started specifically Sean started digging into this because we wanted to cover it. Next thing I know, like Law and Crimes covering it, and then all these other, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like we should have put something out, but we really just couldn't lately. That's why I'm looking for an editor because I don't even have time to edit my own videos. They are, Chantel, yes. Amanda says Sarah Grace is in my county. Exactly. I mean, I was told about this, I don't even know, maybe 2 weeks ago, and my friend was like, cover this. This is going to be big. I think it's going to be big. And sure enough, it's big. And we've been working on this ever since she told us, but it's just been impossible, to get everything together and with everything going on in my life. So Sean is going to join me tonight. Sean's going to join me tonight over on Fatal Files. He's got all the info. I'll probably be asking the questions about how did this happen? When did this happen? What's, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know as much, but what I do know is she was 16 years old. It's Carrollton County, Carrollton County, Georgia. Janie. 16 years old. They go to bed the next morning. Her 6-year-old, her 5-year-old half sister finds her parents shot to death. So the 5-year-old runs into her sister's room, Sarah, and is like, "You need to go in there. Like something bad's happened." So Sarah goes in there, finds them, calls the cops, and it's like, "My sister just found our parents deceased." This girl is on TikTok doing TikTok videos crying about how she loves her parents. She makes a TikTok on the way to her parents' funeral, crying, like, "I'm on my way to my parents' funeral." She gives the eulogy at her parents' funeral. During the eulogy, she says, "I'm sorry." At, at the funeral, she's going around hugging family members, and they said she's telling everybody, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And they said it didn't really make sense, like, what? So I'm just kind of giving a rundown. I don't know hardly anything, Nat. I don't know hardly anything. Just like the eulogy, yeah, she gave the eulogy, but her TikToks were supposedly like wild because, oh, she reached out to TikTokers to cover it. She reached out to several TikTokers and asked them to cover the case when they had not arrested anybody yet, but they did end up arresting her, and it's a pretty insane story. So yeah, we're gonna be live at 8:30 tonight over on Fatal Files. So join me and Sean at 8:30. It's already scheduled, so if you guys want to go and hit like the notification bell to make sure you are notified, you can run over and do that. But I will see you guys on the next one. If you guys don't mind, on the way out, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not following me yet, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.